So can the Washington football team actually get hot?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Like a crossface, it's a dark place I roam. Ain't no right way, just the wrong way, I know. I problem solve with styrofoam. My world revolves around a black hole.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington football team video, and in today's video, we're answering that exact question. Can the Washington football team actually get hot and make a late season run at a wild card position or even the division? So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington football team. Let's get straight into today's video. So again, the question of the day: can the Washington football team get hot and make a late season run at a wild card or even the division? And the reason why I'm making this video is because shout out to my man Jairus and Tim Sports Talk over there on that channel. They had me on last night. It was a ball. If you guys missed it, go over there and check out the rewatch. It was fun. It was very fun. I enjoyed myself. So again, thank you guys for having me on, and we'll definitely work together soon. I would love to be back on you guys' channel. Just hit me up. But yeah, so I was on their channel, and we were talking about Washington and the current state of them being at 3-6, and quite frankly, when you look at our losses, it's not like we were just getting beat. Like, it's not like we were the Detroit Lions or the Jacksonville Jaguars. We literally found our way ourselves to lose that game. We literally lost that game ourselves, most of these games. The only game that I say we genuinely just lost and we didn't have a chance was the Bills game. But you look at the Saints game, we should have won. You look at the Chiefs game, I mean, you could say we should have won because we had a lead at half, but I just didn't feel comfortable in that whole entire game. But I mean, I guess if you're out there and you say we should have won the game, then cool, I'm not mad at you. But then you fast forward to week 7 when we play the Green Bay Packers, we should have won that game. But Heineke falling, fumbles after fumbles and turnovers and momentum killers. It was just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Again, the biggest one with Heineke should have just walked into the end zone. We should have won that game. Then week 8 versus Denver, we should have won that game. We only lost 10-17. Like we should have won most of these games. This team should be sitting at 6-3 or 7-2 or even 8-2 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This team shouldn't be 3-6. It should definitely, if not be leading the division, 2 games out of first place and chilling in that probably second wild card spot, because whoever loses the NFC West is going to have that first wild card spot. But that just made me think, like, this team is not bad, and with the huge win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, can the Washington football team actually make a late season run? Now, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because we still have a lot of work to be left that needs to be done. Because although we say we're in a position where we can get a wild card spot, every team not named the Lions is also in the same position, and there are a bunch of teams that are in better position than us. The Panthers, the Saints, the Eagles, the 49ers, who got a big win on Monday night versus the Rams. So even though we think we're in a position to get a wild card spot, so does everyone else not named the Lions. And I also want to bring this up about the division. We're talking about the wild card in the division, right? Shout out to Jairus again. He said, look at the Cowboys' wins. And again, not taking no credit away from the Cowboys. They have won these games, and you only can play what's on your schedule. But you look at their wins. They beat like the Chargers. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Panthers, and look how bad they've been. I mean, yeah, they got a big win, but they've fallen off after a 3-0 start. Look at the quality of their wins, and then look at the competition that they're soon going to have to face. I mean, I think they'll beat the Raiders, but I have them losing to the Chiefs. Well, look at that. Look when they have to play us twice. I'm not saying we're world beaters or anything. I'm not saying we're just great. but it's a division matchup. They still, I want to say, do have to play the Giants again. I think they do, and I think they still have to play Philly another time. So all those games for Dallas could very well be tough games, and I didn't even look at their whole entire schedule, but I'm sure they have some more tough games later down the season. But look, I'm not taking no credit away from Dallas. They are rightfully leaders of this division. I believe they're 7-2, and they're in the right position. Again, they won, and they can only play what's on their division or on their schedule. They got the third place schedule because last year we won the division and Dak Prescott was out, so they had to play what they got, and they got a third place schedule. And I just think, honestly, I'm not hating again. But I think once the competition, ramps up for the Dallas Cowboys, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually fell off the map. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if what week is that? Is that week 16 or 15? One of those weeks where if Dallas finds a way to continue to lose, that game with us could be probably for the division. Because again, I don't want to sound like a hater. But again, I'm just interested to see how they're gonna play when the schedule ramps up for them and more competition gets brought to them. Now, give me a second. Let me look up their schedule. I have their schedule pulled up here. They have the Chiefs this week, and I have them losing that game. The Raiders, I think they'll win. The Saints, I think they ultimately win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. They struggle playing in New Orleans in the Superdome, and then they have us. Then they have the Giants. Then they have us again. Then they have the Cardinals, and then they have the Eagles to close out the season. All of the remaining games on the Dallas Cowboys schedule are very losable for these guys, and they're very winnable again too. Now, I just want to see, I'm just interested to see how they play against the Saints, who have one of the best defenses in all of football. I want to see how they play against the Chiefs, who are seeming like they're going to find their groove. I want to see how they play against the Giants, a division opponent. I want to see how they play against us, a division opponent. I want to see how they play against the Eagles, a division opponent who we always play each other hard. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that you see a blowout like earlier in the season, you know what I'm saying, with the Eagles and the Cowboys. And then they have a game versus the Cardinals, who are in prime position to have not just the NFC West, but a number 1 seed. So this division, man, I'm not saying it's wide open. I think Dallas still finds a way to win a division, but all I'm saying is I think Washington's schedule is misleading for a lot of people. I think Washington is in a prime position to where they could finally get hot and show what we thought we were going to get from the beginning of the season, and this is starting with this defense. So, again, not taking no credit away from Dallas, but this division is not over by a long shot. I still think they win again. I think Washington is still trying to fight for a wild card spot along with the rest of the NFC besides the Lions. And what is it going to take for Washington to get hot? It had to start with beating Tampa. I picked us to beat Tampa. Now we have to go to Charlotte and beat the Carolina Panthers. If we beat the Carolina Panthers, then I think that's where we start to get hot. Because then after the Carolina Panthers, we have the Seahawks, who's another team that's fighting for a 7th seed. Although their season's not going the way that a lot of Seahawks fans thought, they still got Russell Wilson, my favorite player in the NFL, my favorite player of all time. And then after that, I believe we have the Raiders in Las Vegas. And then after that, I think it's the Dallas Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not the Dallas Cowboys, that's the week we start our NFC East gauntlet. I just don't know what team it is. I think it is the Dallas Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. But man, again, this season is not over. In fact, we got to restart with that big win over Tampa, and I think Washington is not out of it. But again, it all started with Tampa's win. Now we got to keep it rolling versus Carolina. If we officially beat Carolina, we're officially hot, and we officially have a real chance of making a late season run. Now, again, they are a bunch of teams that are ahead of us in the wild card spot, but I don't even want to limit myself or ourselves to just the 7th seed, because currently right now the Saints are in the 6th spot for the 6th seed for that second wild card spot. And I'll be honest, and this is why the early game versus the Saints week 5 stings so much, because the first thing they're going to look at when it comes to the teams having the same record is the head-to-head matchup. So say if the Washington football team and the Saints finished with the same record and it was for the 7th or 6th seed, the Saints are going to get that spot because they beat us. That's why this stings so much. And can I be honest again, they don't scare me. They have Trevor Siemian as their quarterback. No disrespect, but does Trevor Siemian scare you? Michael Thomas is out for the remainder of the 2021 season. They don't have a number one receiver. Why do you think Odell was one of the, Odell was a guy that, was linked to New Orleans so heavily? Because they need a number one guy. Their best offensive weapon, and again, I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but when a running back is your number one weapon, it's pretty bad for your offense. I'll be honest. Again, Alvin Kamara isn't just a regular running back, though. He's a guy that can go out in the slot, catch pass. We know how good Alvin Kamara is, so I'm not discrediting how good he is. But again, when a running back is your number one option and practically your only option, because the Saints aren't using Taysom Hill how I thought they would. You know what I'm saying? They need to get him more involved in their offense. I know he suffered an injury, but they need to get him more involved in their offense. And if they can get that happening, then you have two weapons. But still, I don't think that's enough because Trevor Siemian is your quarterback. Now, flipping sides with the Saints, their defense is good. Their defense is really, really good. One of the top defenses in the NFL. And if they want to find a way to get into the playoffs, it's going to have to be on the shoulders of that defense. Same for us here, right? But again, that's just essentially what I'm saying is they don't scare me, man. Trevor Siemian doesn't scare me. In fact, I don't even see them holding on to that 6th seed. I really don't. I don't think the Saints makes the playoffs. I don't think the Panthers make the playoffs, and those are the two teams that are in those last two wild card spots. We can just forget the first wild card spot because the loser of the NFC West is going to have that wild card spot. Just forget that one. It's either division or 6 or 7 seed for Washington, and more realistically right now, it's 6 or 7 seed for Washington. That's how we got to look at it. But again, I don't want to look ahead of myself because we have to win Sunday. It started with Tampa. Now we got to keep this momentum rolling. It's going to be a huge game. Bank of America Stadium is going to be packed because it's Cam Newton introduction or whatever. I can't, the word has slipped my mind, but it's his comeback home edition this time. You know what I'm saying? He did it on the road versus Arizona last week, who didn't have Kyler Murray. I'm not trying to discredit their win, but they didn't have Kyler Murray. They didn't have DeAndre Hopkins, but they still found a way to win. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta carry this win versus Tampa into Charlotte and get a win, and then rest up. And we got the Seattle Seahawks on Monday night. So we'll see, man. But I just wanted to come on here to talk about that because I think Washington can get hot, but we got to keep it rolling. We got to win Sunday. It started with Tampa. Now we got to keep it rolling with a win over the Carolina Panthers. So yeah, man, there you have it. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington football team. Let me know down below in the comment section, how do you guys feel about this? Do you think we can actually get hot, or do you think it was just a one fluke game? Do you think we just are going to continue the trend of winning one and losing one? Let me know how you guys feel about this video down below. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace.
Give it!
Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped, get you dropped.